How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Scott Pruitt, who is a current administrator of the EPA, that is a U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. There's been a lot said about him in the media over the past few days, and I just want to talk about it in a little bit more of a fair way. The media is trying to lambaste him, talking about he was using security detail to go get lotion all hours of the night, all this crazy stuff. What I'm going to do right now is play this clip from ABC News, and you'll be able to see the media's general opinion about him, things that they said he has done, which are, I guess, illegal, maybe unethical. I don't really know. After we get done watching that, I'll come back and debrief you from that video and give you the real story. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt's problems piling up. Today, the Washington Post reporting he asked his taxpayer-funded security detail to drive him to multiple Ritz-Carlton hotels in search of his favorite moisturizing lotion and asked them to pick up his dry cleaning. A Pruitt spokesperson defended his actions to the Post, saying his detail protects him in his personal or official capacity. And a top Pruitt staffer stepping down yesterday after she told Congress Pruitt was interested in, quote, securing an old mattress from the Trump Hotel. And that's not all. Emails show Pruitt asked for special help for a business opportunity for his wife, who wanted to open a Chick-fil-A franchise in Oklahoma.
We need more of them in Tulsa, and we need more of them across the country.
The deal never happened, and President Trump stood by Pruitt yesterday.
EPA is doing really, really well. And, you know, somebody has to say that about you a little bit. You know that, Scott.
Mr. Pruitt, do you owe taxpayers an apology? Do you owe taxpayers an apology, sir?
Pruitt is losing support, even from members of his own party.
But he's acting like a moron.
Pruitt now facing 15 open investigations into his conduct. And the Nonpartisan Government Accountability Office already found he broke the law when he installed a $43,000 phone booth in his office.
It's about as swampy as you get.
Tonight, Pruitt's still working for a president who promised to drain the swamp.
Okay, so you're able to see that. Now, let's start from the very beginning. This guy, from most of what was said in that piece, appears to be very cheap. And he's a man after my own heart. I'm very cheap. I'll try to find the lowest deal. I'm the kind of guy that will go to every website on the internet that seems halfway reputable to find a deal, even if I get like 25 more cents off. I'm that cheap. I'm very, very cheap, and I'm reluctant to spend money. It appears that Scott Pruitt is the exact same way, because if you have your security detail go from one hotel to another to find one very specific type of lotion, I mean, to me, that's cheap, because I suppose you could get that online or something that's similar to it. It may cost more, but I'm sure you'd be able to get it. Or maybe just, I don't know, next time you go to the hotel, get the lotion, or just check into the actual spot. I think he's just kind of cheap. And he also had his security pick up his dry cleaning. So I don't see him as a guy that's very loose with spending. You know, just a regular guy doing regular things. I don't know if it was said in the piece or not, but the security detail that he has must go with him wherever he goes. It doesn't matter if it's personal or professional. If he's going to the corner store to get something to drink, they have to go. If he's going to the White House for a meeting, he has to go. So for them to try and put it out there like he was using them in an inappropriate way, I mean, how was it inappropriate? They have to go with him wherever he goes. Now, maybe he could have gone with them to pick up the dry cleaning, but why does it really make a difference? If they're going to go regardless, why does it matter? Why don't you go and then get it for me rather than me going with you? You still have to go regardless. But I digress. My point is that he appears to be a very cheap guy, and I'm the exact same way, so I can relate to him on that. Which brings me to my next point about the whole phone booth kerfuffle. They're talking about, oh, he installed a $43,000 phone booth in his office. Now, when you hear that, you might think, okay, $43,000 for a phone booth. Is he going to become Superman in there? Is he going to put on the red cape and begin to fight crime? I can't really call it. But whatever the case may be, that's very expensive. And that kind of raised my antenna right away, because in the beginning of the piece talking about how cheap he was, going from hotel to find one type of lotion, basically, that seems very cheap. And I can relate to that. I cannot relate to a phone booth in your office for $43,000. So I did a little bit of digging, just a little bit. All I did was just put Scott Pruitt phone booth into YouTube to find a video, and this is what I found.
When you appeared before the subcommittee in December, this subcommittee, you said that your phone booth is used for classified conversations and sensitive conversations with the White House. Has this $43,000 phone booth, has it been certified as a SCIF? And also, so using it are you using it for classified conversations? Is that appropriate?
It has not been certified as a SCIF, and it does provide protection on confidential communications. And I think it's important, Congressman, to know where this originated. I did have a phone call that came in of a sensitive nature, and I did not have access to secure communications. I gave direction to my staff to address that. And out of that came a $43,000 expenditure that I did not approve. That is something that should
because you're not
future.
taking responsibility for the $43,000 that was spent in your office. You're saying that staff did it without your knowledge?
Career individuals at the agency took that process through and signed off on it all the way through.
Okay, so you were not involved in that?
I was not involved in the approval of the $43,000, and if I'd known about it, Congressman, I would have refused it.
All right, so there you have it. I think that's pretty much cut and dry. It was a problem with communication. He could not have it secure. So he asked his staff, hey, what can we do to have more secure communication when I'm on the phone talking to the president or whatever? I don't want any eavesdroppers. I don't want anybody, writing what I'm saying down or having a recording device near me so then they can go leak to the media. I need a private way to communicate. And before he knew it, the phone booth was in his office. He said he did not have anything to do with it. He was not involved. So how are you going to blame him for that? And ironically enough, the video I found was on NBC. So I would think that NBC, since they recorded that information, would have it. But apparently somebody forgot to ask, or maybe they just did that on purpose. I don't know, but I digress. My whole point here is that the whole phone booth kerfuffle is nothing burger, as is this whole situation. This is the same thing when I say they, I mean the mainstream media. This is the same thing they did to Ben Carson, talking about, we spent $1 million or whatever. I don't know how much it was, but he spent all this money on a table and some chairs. He was just like, look, we're just trying to fix this old stuff that's in here. I'm not trying to spend that much money, but a lot of these decisions are not really in my hands. I don't know what's going on. I found out about it and I canceled it. Ben Carson was actually able to cancel the order for the furniture because he found out about it at the very end of it. But Scott Pruitt had no idea. All of a sudden one day, the booth was there. So, I mean, how was that his fault? All he said was that he needed a more private way to communicate. He didn't say he needed this big opulent thing. And as far as a Chick-fil-A and his wife in Oklahoma, I don't really know if that's inappropriate to ask who he asked for help in that situation. I can't call it. I think it's just a big nothing burger. And we were talking about a mattress. Oh, and by the way, that goes back to the whole cheap part. A mattress. You're trying to secure an old mattress from the Trump hotel. That seems very cheap. Maybe you're trying to get it because they're throwing it away. That's something that cheap people do. So the whole phone booth thing doesn't even make any sense. But again, I digress. My whole point here is that this is a witch hunt. They did the same thing to Ben Carson. Now they're doing it to him. It's the same thing they do with Trump as well. Little petty things they get him on. Talking about, he drinks too many Diet Cokes. Like, it's always something. They try to turn even positive things into negative things. Just like Trump losing weight. They say they lost like 40 pounds since he's been in the White House. They're trying to say, he still has a long way to go. He shouldn't have been that unhealthy to begin with. A lot of crazy things that are being said about the president and the entire administration. But at the end of the day, I think all that it does is just make the administration seem like they are the victims in this whole thing. I'm not saying they are the victims in this whole thing, nor am I saying that they should claim the victimhood status, but you're trying to make them into that because people are going to see this and they're saying, why are you picking on Trump? Why are you picking on the administration? What did Ben Carson do to you? Did he hurt your dog? This man, Scott Pruitt, is just trying to find some lotion. Is it really that serious? The phone booth wasn't even his idea. And NBC, you had that on your network. You aired it and you recorded it and put it on your YouTube channel. But now all of a sudden you don't know. This is crazy. But this is what the liberal mainstream media does. They put out silly things like that about the Republican Party, about anybody that's a conservative. But on the liberal side of things, they really don't do too much. A lot of softball questions, a lot of evading certain things to talk about, which is why I was surprised at my man Craig Melvin over there at NBC, ironically enough, for grilling Slick Willie Bill Clinton about the whole Monica Lewinsky kerfuffle. I was really surprised about that, because you see how they do in general, aside from that one shining moment. So what do you think? Do you think that the old mattress and the hotel lotion was really worth doing the news story about, trying to make it into a big thing? How about the phone booth? Do you think that was his idea? If this man is trying to get an old mattress from a hotel, an old one, and you know, a hotel, thousands of guests, if this man is trying to get a hotel mattress and some lotion from a hotel, do you think he's going to spend that much money on the phone booth? Do you think he will authorize that? I mean, let's just have these things make sense. Okay. Was he improperly using the security detail? If so, then how? I heard a question from a journalist talking about, are you wasting the taxpayers' money on what? On what? He didn't. I mean, what can you say? He told the security to go pick up some dry cleaning. How much did that cost? And even if they didn't go by themselves, they would have gone with him to go get it. I mean, can he not dry clean his suits? What is he supposed to do? I don't have anything else to say, so whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.